You're listening to the Dirt Racing Podcast.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Dirt Racing Podcast. Let's get started. We'll start on Friday night at CJ Speedway. Was rained out, so we head over to the Marshalltown Speedway, where it was modified $1,000 to win. Picking up the win was the 10C Caden Carter, second 26 J. Joel Russ, third the 21 David Brown, fourth the 11 of Isaac Malico, fifth 82 Jake McBurney, sixth was the 5 of Todd Schutz, seventh the 48K Colin Hibden, Scott Simonovich in the 43S was 8th, 9th, 5 of Paul Nagel, Charlie Moore in 99 was 10th, 11th the 5G of Gatlacher, 12th was Dustin Canoeing in 56, 13th to 72 Colton Osborne. The rest did not finishes or disqualifications. Credited with 14th was the 2018 of Trevor Fitz. The 15th was the 118 of Jesse Patterson. Tim Ward in the 4TW was 16th. 17th was the 53 of Logan Hervey Anderson. 21K of Kyle Brown was 18th. 19th to 12 of Bert Ramsey. And credited with 20th as a disqualification was the 11X of Tom Berry. In the shootout, your winner was Joel Russ picking up the $500. Second was Colin Hibden. Third, Tim Ward. Fourth, Caden Carter. Also competing was Isaac Malico, Colton Osborne, Trevor Fitz, Tom Berry, Scott Simonovich, Logan Herbie Anderson, David Brown, Brett Ramsey, Jesse Patterson. Basically everybody, Paul Nagel, Todd Schutz, Charlie Moore. So basically everybody who signed in. In the stock cars, picking up the win was the 77M Jeff Mueller. Second was the 19 Jimmy Gustin. Third, the 7V Braden Carter. Fourth, the 41 Thor Anderson. Fifth, 30M McGuire DeYoung. Sixth, the 20V of Dustin Viss. Seventh, the 94 Steve Meyer. Brandon Cox in 66 was 8th. Ninth, the A1A of Austin Kaplan. 10th was Jared Miller in the 17M. Austin Staley in the 02 was 11th. 12th was Jocelyn Elmquist in the 18J. 13th was the 15 of Chris Mitchell. And then did not finish, credited with 14th to 19J of Jay Smith. In the sport mods, picking up the win was Kyle Olson in the K3. Second, Matt Avila in the 2X. Third, the 01 Braden Carter. Fourth, the 7W of Will Wolf. Fifth, the 22 junior Brady Hilmer. Colton Lizzie in 29 was 6th. Seventh, the 9R of Tyler Carey. Caden Rice in the 69K was 8th. Justin Elmquist in the 18 was 9th. 10th, the 711 of Paige Herrera. Chris Burke in the CB25 was 11th. 12th, the 74 Cannon Vincent. 13th, the D7K of Ryan King. Austin Kemp in the 8K was 14th. The rest did not finishes or did not starts. 15th was the 17 of Kyle Free. Austin Hursty In the 11 was 16th. 17th to 19, J. Janae Gustin. 18th to 151 of Bo Jenkins. 1933 of Jacob Ashley. 20th was the 24K of Shane Koska. 21st to 17 of Brendan Thorpe. 22nd to 7M of Steve McLaughlin. And credited with 23rd and did not start, the 22D of Dalton Serac. In the hobby stocks, your winner was the 47 SW Sam West. Second, the 88H Akil Humsley. Third was the 12K Eric Knutson, Eric with C. Fourth, the 7B of Eric Stanton. Fifth, 55X Corey Vanderwall. Kale Cook in 22K was 6. Seventh, the 9 of Cody Saban. Briar Kriegel in the 17K was 8th. Ninth, the 11B of Solomon Bennett. Braden Farney in the 7 was 10th. 11th, 55 Brett Mosdom. 12th, Ray Hill in the 19. 13th, the 17X of Ben Newhouse. Trenton Newhouse in the 7M was 14th. 15th, the 9B of Larry Baldwin. Andy Peck in the 17 was 16th. 17th to 17B, Garrett Ball. 18th to 7X of Clayton Soggy. And did not finish in 19th, the 4B of Blake Stevens. In the Mod Lights, your winner was the 99 Josh May. Second, the 48G of Austin Gray. Third, the 4G of Ben George. Jackson Carr in the 55 was fourth. Fifth, the 46Z of Brian Ziem. Alex Ishod in the 70 was sixth. Cody Overbrant in the 0B was in seventh. Eighth, the 47 of Randy Bryan. Ninth, the X50 of Joel Huggins. 10th, the 9XL of Colin Anderson. Garrett Anderson in the 9 was 11th. The 7H or H7B of Jonathan Bahroon was 12th. 13th was the 96 of Dylan Bush. 12th was the 2G of Garrett Anderson. Taylor Pollock in the 14 was 15th. 16th, the 5G of Tristan Glick. Steve Hartley in this 87S was 17th. 18th, Ryder Hartley in the 87R. 19th was the 4D of Doug Pollock. And credited with 20th and did not finish, the 82 Charlie Brown. And 24th did not finish, the 3G of Joe Glick. That's the results from the Marshalltown Speedway. Over at Hancock County, it was the Hobo Hustle shootout for the stock cars. But we'll start in the modifieds. Picking up the win was the 10 of Jeremy Mills. Second, the 13 of Jerry Flippo. Kelly Sharrock at 3 was third. Fourth, the 49K of Cody Connect. Fifth, the 2 of Nick Meyer. Todd Steinhardt in the 7S was 6th. Seventh, Clint Hullestad in the 74C. Eighth was the 4 Jason Bass. Ninth, the 7R Ethan Rovey. 10th, the 0 Jamie Anderson. The wrestler did not finish. 11th, the 75 Greg Elliott. 12th, the 75H of Gary Hall. And Larry Hall was 13th in the 55. In the stock cars, your winner was the 3 Kelly Sharrock. Second, Dalton Murdy in the 99D. Third, the 8X of Scott Olson. David Wickman, 14W, was fourth. Fifth, the 99D, Damon Murdy. Sixth, the 47 of Parker Stagel. Dustin Aldees in the 10 was seventh. Eighth was the 14 of Chad Palmer. 9th, Carter Evans in the 154E. 10th was the 43 of Calvin Lang. The rest did not finishes. Credited with 11th was the 46M of Lauren Pasica. 12th, the 44K of Kevin Opheim. Ryan Roth in the 45 was 13th. 14th, the 01 of Troy Dervich. Heath Tope in the 50 was 15th. 16th, the 2 Wayne Lanhier. The 1S of Hunter Smith was 17th. Blaine Hansen in the 55B was 18th. And 19th, the 73 of Troy Swearingen. In the Sport Mod, Jacob Tishney in the 5J was your winner. Second, the 00 Kobe Fett. Third, Nate Albert in the 88N. Fourth was the 2B of Braden Claiborne. Summer Grady in the 10 was fifth. Ninth with a 49 of Matt Hollerich. Jackson Carey in the 392 was seventh. Eighth was Drew Fitt in the 64. Ninth, Kobe Grady in the 2. 10th was the 40 of George Gilliland. 11th was the 9J of Jeremiah Reed. 12th was the 44J of Brian Johnson. 13th was the 9 of Matt Loaf. The rest did not finish or did not start. 14th, the 85 of Dustin West. Aiden Gildner in the 33 was 15th, and credited with 16th. It did not start with the 86 of Randy Cram. In the IMCA hobby stocks, your winner was the 91 of Chris Krug. Jade Lang in the 43 was second. Third, the 45 of Drew Barzloff. Joshua Mace Munson in the $25 was fourth. Fifth was Braden Shear, was fifth and 27. Sixth, the 3 junior Jace Hansen. Steve Wickman in the 48 was seventh. Eighth, the T8 of Brandon Nielsen. Ethan Dirksen 51 was ninth. 11th, Grant Hagelin. Lucas Smith in the 14L was 11th. 12th, Jacob Munson in the 25. Jeremy True was in the 5K was 13th. The rest did not finish or did not start. 14th was the 17 of Nash Palmer. Travis Bickler in the 88B was 15th. 16th to 98 of Dan Hanselman. And did not start in 17th to 48B of Derek Barzloff. In the Outlaw Hobby stocks, the 7JO of Jeremy Wagner was your winner. Second, the $25 sign of Joshua Mace Munson. Chris Krug in the 91 was third. Fourth, the 136 of Tanner Green. Fifth, the 50 of Bryce Summerfield. Roger Humple, the 24 was sixth. Seventh, the T8 of Brandon Nielsen. Jacob Munson in 25 was eighth. Ninth, Braden shared 27 and did not finish in 10th. The 99 action Josh Seidels. Over at the Knoxville Raceway, night 1 of the World of Outlaws sprint cars were in action as we had two groups of time trials. We'll start with group number 1. Quick time was the 7BC of Tyler Courtney at a 15:2:40. Second, the 41 of Carson Macedo at a 15:2:62. Third was the 23 of Garrett Williamson at a 15.274. Fourth was the 18 of Gio Selzy at a 15.326. Fifth was the 2 David Gravel at a 15.332. Sixth, the 9 of Casey Kane at a 15.335. Seventh was the 49 of Brad Sweet at a 15.381. Eighth was the 1S of Logan Schuhart at a 15.437. Ninth to 17 is Sheldon Honshield at a 15.449. 10th was the 5 of Brendan Crouch at a 15.458. 11th to 14 is Spencer Baston at a 15.464. 12th was the 83 of Michael Buddy Kilfoy at a 15.526. 13th was the 2M of JJ Hankel at a 15.534. 14th to 78 of Scott Bogiski at a 15.678. 15th to 9R Chase Randall at a 15.708. 16th was the 3P of Sawyer Phillips at a 15.711. 17th was a lot from Parker Price Miller at 71 at a 15.780. 18th was the 15 of Donnie Schatz at a 15.792. 19th, the G5 of Gage Posterback at a 15.820. And final card to make the heat races in 20th was the 6K of Caleb Johnson at a 16.861. The rest went to the non-qualifiers race number 1. 21st, 45X of Landon Crawley at a 15.872. 22nd, 23 Jimmy Lai at a 15.889. 23rd, the 7B of Brandon, or 6B of Brandon Wimmer at a 15.932. 24th, the 51B of Joby Miller at a 15.945. 25th, the 2C of Cole Macedo at a 15.954. 26th was the 42 of Cy Lynch at 15.973. 27th to 28M of Connor Morrell at a 16.148. 28th was the 44X of Scotty Johnson at 16.194. 29th, the 7B of Ben Brown at a 16.206. 30th was the 71W of Brandon Wormington at a 16.313. And 31st, the 22M of Reese Moran at a 16.600. And 32nd was the 97 of Scotty Milan at a 16.677. Same drill in Group 2. Your quick time was the 10 of Ryan Timms at a 15.637. Second to 55B, the Madman Kerry Matson at a 15.812. Third was the 17B of Bill Baylog at a 15.873. Fourth, 24A Rico A. Brew at a 15.935. Fifth was the 88 of Austin McCarl at a 15.944. Sixth was the 39M of Anthony Macquarie at a 15.961. Seventh was the 87 of Aaron Reitzel at a 15.973. Eighth was the 8H of Jacob Hughes at a 15.995. Ninth was the 14 BC of Corey Day at a 16.002. 10th was the 27 of Emerson Saxon at 16.011. 11th was the 21 Brian Brown at 16.054. 12th was the 4W Jamie Ball at 16.079. 13th was the 27 Emma Carson McCarl at 16.086. 14th was the 13 of Dason Pursley at a 16.097. Jai Corbett was 15th of the 25 at a 16.153. 16th to 44 of Chris Martin at 16.185. 17th was the 6 of Zach Hampton at a 16.255. 18th to 39 of Lenton Jeffrey at 16.266. 19th to 1 of K of Kobe Watt at 16.277. And 20th to lock in the heat race was the 4 of Cam Martin at a 16 through 18. The rest go to the non-qualifiers. 21st was the 80P of Jacob Peterson at 16 through 49. 22nd was the 22 of Riley Goodnow at a 16 for 14. 23rd, the 55 of Hunter Schermer at a 16 for 25. 24th, T-Mac Terry McCarl, the 24 was 24th at 16 for 27. 25th, the 15 junior of Cole Meitzer at a 16 for 35. 26th, the 2K of Ian KS of Ian Madsen at a 16 for 63. 27th was the 99 of Skylar G at a 16 for 90. 28th was the 7S of Chris Wyndham at a 16 for 90. 29th, 17A of Jack Anderson at a 16 520. 30th, the 27B of Jake Bubak at a 16 546. 31st, the 121 of RJ Johnson at a 16 578. And 22nd, Austin Gossel, the 16G at a 16 644. Non-qualifiers race number 1 went to Landon Crawley. Second, final transfer to Cole Macedo. Those both go to heat race. Third was Brandon Wimmer. Fourth, Jimmy Light. Fifth, Cy Lynch. Sixth, Joby Miller. Seventh, Scotty Johnson. Eighth, Reese Moran. Ninth, Ben Brown. 10th, Brandon Warmington. 11th, Connor Moreau. And 12th, Scotty Milan. Non-qualifiers race number 2 went to Riley Goodnow. Second, final transfer was Terry McCarl. Third was Hunter Schermer. Fourth, Ian Matson. Fifth, Jacob Peterson. Sixth, Tyler G. Seventh, Jack Anderson. Eighth, Jake Bubak. Ninth, Austin Gossel. 10th, Chris Wyndham. 11th was Cole Meitzer and did not start. 12th, RJ Johnson. Heat races took the top 5 directly to the A main. Heat race 1 went to Tyler Courtney. Second, David Gravel. Third, Garrett Williamson. Fourth, Brad Sweet. Fifth and final transfer, J.J. Hinkle. Sixth was Sheldon Hodgeld. Seventh, Spencer Mason. Eighth, Chase Randall. Ninth, Parker Price Miller. 10th, Gage Polzarek. And 11th, Landon Crawley. Heat race 2 went to Carson Macedo. Second, Gio Selzy. Third, Logan Schuhart. Fourth, Michael Buddy Kilfoy. And fifth and final transfer, Brendan Crouch. Sixth was Casey Kane. Seventh, Caleb Johnson. Eighth, Donnie Schatz. Ninth, Scott Vigitsky. 10th, Cole Macedo. And 11th to Sawyer Phillips. Heat race 3 went to Ryan Timms. Second to Austin McCarl. Third, Corey Dave. Fourth, Carson McCarl. And fifth and final transfer was Jai Corbett. The sixth was Zach Hampton. Seventh, Bill Baylock. Eighth, Kobe Watt. Ninth, Riley Goodnow. 10th, Aaron Reitel. And 11th, Brian Brown. Heat race number 4 went to Rico Abreu. Second, Kerry Madsen. Third, Anthony Macri. Fourth, Emerson Axum. Fifth and final transfer, Dayton Persley. Sixth was Jamie Ball. Seventh, Jacob Hughes. Eighth, Cam Martin. Ninth, Terry McCarl. 10th, Chris Martin. And credited with 11th and did not start was Lenton Jeffrey. The D main took 2 to the back of the C. So your winner was Jake Bubak. Second, final transfer, Reese Moran. They were followed by third, Scotty Johnson. Fourth, Ben Brown. Fifth, Connor Morrell. Sixth, Brandon Warrington. Seventh, Scotty Milan. Eighth, Chris Wyndham. Ninth, Austin Gossel. Did not start. Credited with 10th was Jack Anderson. 11th, Cole Meitzer. And 12th, RJ Johnson. In the C main, your winner was Cole Macedo. Second, final transfer, Landon Crawley. They were followed by third, Chris Martin. Fourth, Hunter Schermer. Fifth, Jake Bubak. Sixth, Jimmy Light. Seventh, Skylar G. Eighth, Ian Matson. Ninth, Jacob Peterson. 10th, Brandon Wimmer. 11th, Cy Lynch. 12th, Reese Moran. 13th, Joby Miller. 14th, Sawyer Phillips. Did not start. 15th, Gage Polzarek. 16th, Aaron Reitzel. 17th, Brian Brown. And 18th, Lenton Jeffrey. The dash went to Gio Selzy. Kerry Matson was second. Third, Austin McCarl. Fourth, Rico Abreu. Fifth, Tyler Courtney. 6th, Carson Macedo. 7th, Ryan Timms. And 8th, David Gravel. The B main went to Sheldon Hanschild. 2nd, Bill Balog. 3rd, Spencer Mason. 4th, the final transfer, Jamie Ball. They were followed by 5th, Chase Randall. 6th, Donnie Schatz. 7th, Kobe Watt. 8th, Caleb Johnson. 9th, Landon Crawley. 10th, Parker Price Miller. 11th, Cam Martin. 12th, Jacob Hughes. 13th, Riley Goodnow. 14th, Scott McGiskey. 15th, Zach Hampton. 16th, Cole Macedo. 17th, Casey Kane. And 18th, Terry McCarl. Your feature event went to David Gravel. 2nd, to Kerry Matson. 3rd, Rico Abreu. 4th, Carson Macedo. 5th, Corey Day. 6th, Gio Selzy. 7th, Anthony Macri. 8th, Austin McCarl. 9th, Tyler Courtney. 10th, Brad Sweet. 11th, Michael Buddy Kilfoy. 12th, Logan Schuart. 13th, Garrett Williamson. 14th, Ryan Timms. 15th, Donnie Schatz. 16th, Carson McCarl. 17th, to Cole Macedo. 18th, J.J. Hinkle. 19th, Spencer Mason. 20th, Sheldon Hanschild. 21st, Emerson Axum. 22nd, Brendan Crouch. 23rd, Bill Blaylock. 24th, Jai Corbett. 25th, Chris Wyndham. 26th, Zach Hampton. 27th, Dason Persley. 28th, Connor Morrell. 29th, Jamie Ball. Selzy led 1 through 7. Kerry Matson 8 through 19. And Gravel 20 through 25. The hard charger with shots. The pro sprints were also on the card, as they were in racing action. As quick time was the 17, Devin Klein at 17.905. Second, the 88 of Jake Hender at 17.993. Third was the 13M of Brent Moffitt at an 18.103. Fourth, 57A Devin Wignall at 18.135. Fifth was the 26 of Josh Jones at an 18.243. Sixth, the 41 Jeff Wilkie at an 18.354. Ninth, the 99 of Matthew Stelzner at 18.360. Eighth, the 48 of Tyler Thompson at an 18.552. Ninth was the 9 of Luke Lane at an 18.516. 10th was the 700 Lane at an 18.676. 11th, the 0 Mike Mayberry at an 18.799. 12th, the 12K of Cody Hildreth at an 18.833. 13th was the 7G of Jackson Gray at an 18.836. 14th was the 44 of Brody Johnson at an 18.853. 15th was the 55K of Bob Hildreth at 19.546. And 16th, the 4S of Dave Sutton at a 21.362. Went to Matthew Stelzner. Second, Luke Lane. Third, Mike Payberry. Fourth, Devin Klein. Fifth, Fred Moffitt. Sixth, Josh Jones. Seventh, Jackson Gray. And eighth, the Bob Hildreth. Heat race 2 went to Jake Hender. Second, Tyler Thompson. Third, Hunter Lane. Fourth, Cody Hildreth. Fifth, Devin Wignall. Sixth, Brody Johnson. Seventh, Jeff Wilkie. And eighth, Dave Sutton. The feature went to Jake Hender. Second, Matthew Stelzner. Third, Devin Klein. Fourth, Luke Lane. Fifth, Devin Wignall, excuse me. Sixth, Jackson Gray. Seventh, Tyler Thompson. Eighth, Brody Johnson. Ninth, Cody Hildreth. 10th, Brent Moffitt. 11th, Bob Hildreth. 12th, Dave Sutton. 13th, Jeff Wilkie. 14th, Josh Jones. 15th, Hunter Lane. And credited with 16th that did not start Mike Mayberry. Kendra led 1 through 15. The hard charger was Gray.
Saturday night over at the 34 Raceway. It was. We'll start with the 305s. Picking up the win was 27 Tanner Gebhardt. Second, 27 Cody Worley. Third, the 41X of Jeff Wilkie. Fourth, the 88 and Riley Scott. Fifth was the 7B and Nick Guernsey. Sixth, the 90 Lincoln Martin. Seventh, the Kel Hilmerson and 52H. And the rest did not finish or did not start. Eighth, the 8S of Chuck Smith. It's credited with 9th to 13th C and Rebecca Cerrella. And 10th, the 25R Brett Yeager. In the modified, you picking up the win was Chris Logan, the 9Z. Second, the 5R Bill Roberts. Third, the 53 of Logan Hervey Anderson. Fourth, the 71 Dennis Levine. Fifth, the 05 John Oliver. Sixth, the 44X of Blaze Lewis. Seventh, Skylar Haroon and 32H. Eighth, Jim Sandusky in the J1. Mark Winkle was ninth in the 7W. 10th, 96 Matt Lundry. The rest did not finish or did not start. Credited with 11th to 32 of Donovan Lodge. And credited with 12th and did not start the 20 of Denny Brow. Sport Mods. Picking up the win was the 117 of Dylan Van Wyk. Second, Sean Wyatt in the 12S. Third, Joe Roller in 75R. Fourth, the 55 of Dustin Griffith. Fifth, 22HV of Jarrett Vandenberg. Sixth was the 14AJ of AJ Turnier. Seventh, the 00 Matt Tucker. Eighth, the 13 of Travis Tidwell. Grady Jones in 55J was ninth. 10th, Quentin Shelton, in 54 was 10th. Kyle Miller in the 78 was 11th. And the rest did not finish. She has 12th to 15 of Ryan Dodd. And 13th to 666 of Kevin Week. In the stock cars, you picking up the win was John Oliver. Second, Corey Sosserman in C4. Third was Austin Stragi in the 14X. Fourth was the 21 Emma Kurt Kensley. Fifth, the 33 of Trenton Witt. Chad Krugmeyer in the 12 was 6th. The 333 of Luke Phillips was 7th. 8th, the 5J of Matt Jones. 9th, Chuck Underwood in the 17U. And credited with 10th and did not finish the 87 of Elias Blakely. In the Sport Compacts, picking up the win was Barry Taff in 57. Second, 63 of Tim Snottenhorst. Third was the 63B of Bobby Douglas. Fourth, the 21T of Ryerson Tharp. Fifth, Chadwick Poland in the 10C. The rest did not finishes. 6th to 38 of Brandon Crawley. Broderick Whitman in 68 was 7th. And TJ Weibels was 8th in the 2X. In the late models, picking up the win was the 30 Curtis Glover. Second, 93 Jay Johnson. Third, 53 Dustin Smith. Andy Nowinski in 7 was 4th. Fifth, Jeremy Punt in the 52J. Evan Miller in 88 was 6th. 7th to 7B, Matt Strassheim. Rum Boys in 74 was 8th. 9th to 42 of Kyle Hollenbeck. Scott Strauss in 34 was 10th. Ed Hollenbeck in 39 was 11th. 12th to 11S of Josh Snyderman. The rest did not finish or did not start. Credited with 13th to 16C of Cruz Burkhofer. 14th, the 07 Ray Raker. And did not start with in 15th, the 4B of Mitch Bowles. Over at the Knoxville Raceway was night number 2 for the World Outlaws. Same drill. We'll start with qualifying Group A. Quick time was 88 Austin McCall at 15.508. Second, the 39M of Anthony Macri at a 15.590. Third, the 18 Gio Selzy at a 15.594. Fourth, the 10 of Ryan Tibbs at a 15.649. Fifth was the 17B of Bill Balog at a 15.699. Sixth, the 23 of Garrett Williamson at a 15.777. Seventh was the 17 of Sheldon Hodgson at a 15.800. Eighth was the 44 Chris Warden at a 15.806. Ninth, the 2C of Cole Vecino at a 15.807. 10th was the 19 of Kevin Thomas at a 15.812. 11th was the 1S of Logan Stewart at a 15.862. 12th to 24 T-Back Terry McCall at a 15.881. 13.27 of Carson McCall at a 15.892. 12th to 13 of Jason Persley at a 15.900. 15.28 Emma Carlin Moreau at a 15.961. 16th to 27B of Jake Buback at a 15.969. 17th to 14 Spencer Mason at a 16.016. 18th to 45X of Landon Crawley at 16.060. 19th was the 9 of Casey Kane at a 16.061. And 20th and final quarterback qualified was the 6K of Caleb Johnson. Or to make a heat race was Caleb Johnson at 16.072. The rest were to non-qualify race. 21st, the 1K of Kobe Watt at a 16.127. 22nd, 7V Ben Brown at a 16.210. 23rd, the 2015 Junior Cole Leitzer at a 16.213. 24th, the 22 Riley Goodnow at a 16.227. 25th, the 51V of Joe V. Miller at a 16.246. 26th, 23 Al Jimmy Light at a 16.329. 27th, the 22 Evan Reese Moran at a 16.332. 28th, 25 of Jai Corbett at a 16.396. 29th, the 80 of Jacob Peterson at a 16.423. 30th, the 71 W of Brandon Wimmer. Brandon Worthington, excuse me, at 16.435. 31st and 97 of Scotty Milan at 16.699. And 32nd was the 7S of Chris Windham at 16.805. Group B quick time was the 49 of Bradley at a 15.857. Second, the 2 David Gravel at a 15.921. Third was the 83 of Michael Buddy Kofoy at 16.017. Fourth was the 5 of Brendan Crouch at a 16.055. Fifth, the 27 of Anderson Axum at 16.084. Sixth, the 14 VC of Corey Day at 16.086. Seventh, the 87 Aaron Reitzel at 16.088. 15th, the 8th, the 15 of Donnie Schott at 16.134. 9th, the 55 of Hunter Schoenberg at 16.169. 10th, the 55B of the Maverick Kerry Matson at 16.184. 11th, the 41 of Carson Vecino at a 16.209. 12th, the 2 of J.J. Hinkle at 16.249. 13th, the 42 of Silence at 16.251. 14th, the 4W Jamie Ball at 16.257. 15th, the 7VC of Tyler Courtney as 16,301. 16th to 6th is Zach Hampton at 16,305. 17th to 24 Abreu, or A, Enrico Abreu at 16,338. 18th to 71 the Wofford Parker Wrestler at 16,351. 19th was the 68 Brandon Wimmer at 16,460, and 20th was the 21 of Brian Brown at 16,493. Last car to make the heat races. 21st to 99 to Skylar G at 16,502. 22nd to 78 to Scott Vigiski at 16,511. 23rd to 8H to Jacob Hughes at 16,557. 24th to 39 Lynn Jeffrey at 16,562. 25th was the 3 Fuse Sawyer Phillips at 16,882. 26th to 2KSC Matson at 16,628. 27th to 9R Chase Randall at 16,649. 28th was the 17A of Jack Anderson at a 16,718. 29th to 44X of Scotty Johnson at 16,982. 30th was Gage Schulzermack in the 5G G5 17,027. And 31st, the 121 of RJ Johnson at 17,238. And 31st, second, the one of Tasker Phillips, no time. Non-qualifiers race 1 with Tacoma Watts, second final changer Jai Corbett. Third was Riley Goodell, fourth Joe V. Miller, fifth Ben Round, sixth Cole Leitzer, seventh Chris Windham, eighth Brandon Worthington, ninth Jimmy Light, 10th Jacob Pearson, 11th Reese Moran, and 12th Scotty Milan. Non-qualifiers race 2 with the Skylar G, second final changer Sawyer Phelps. Third was Chase Randall, fourth Ian Matson, fifth Scott Vigiski, sixth Jack Anderson, seventh Jacob Hughes, eighth Gage Schultzerbeck, ninth Scotty Johnson. Did not start credit with 10th Linton Jeffrey, RJ Johnson 11th, and 12th Tasker Phillips. Heat race 1 went to Bill Baylock, second Sheldon Honchel, third Gio Sully, fourth Logan Stewart, fifth of all transfer Austin McCall, sixth Nicole Macedo, seventh Spencer Mason, eighth Casey Kane, ninth Carson McCall, and 10th Cody Watt, and 11th Connor Morrell. Heat race 2 went to Ryan Timms, second to Anthony Macri, third Chris Martin, fourth Garrett Williamson, fifth Caleb Johnson was the fifth of all transfer, sixth was Kevin Thomas, seventh Jason Persley, eighth Jake Pulak, ninth Landon Crawley, 10th Jai Corbett, and 11th Terry McCarl. Heat race 3 went to Brad Sweet, second Aaron Reitzel, third Michael Buddy Kilfoy, fourth Rico Avery, fifth of all transfer Emerson Axum, sixth Carson Macedo, seventh Tyler Courtney, eighth Skylar G, ninth Hunter Sherberg, 10th Cy Lynch, 11th Brandon Wimmer. Heat race number 4 went to David Gravel, second Corey Day, third Kerry Matson, fourth Brendan Crouch, fifth the final changer Donnie Schatz, sixth J.J. Hinkle, seventh Brendan Brown, eighth Turker Francis, ninth Zach Hampton, 10th Sawyer Phillips, and 11th Jamie Mall. The D-Main picking up the win was Jack Anderson, second final changer Jacob Hughes. Third was Brandon Worthington. Fourth was Reese Moran. Fifth, Gage Schultzberg. Sixth, Jimmy Light. Seventh, Scotty Johnson. Eighth, Jacob Pearson. Ninth, Scotty Milan. 10th, Chris Windham. 11th, Cole Leitzer. Did not start. 13th, Lynn Jeffrey. 14th, RJ Johnson. And 15th, Tasker Phillips. The C-Main. Your winner was Kobe Watts. Second, Val Chancer, Chase Randall. Third, Cy Lynch. Fourth, Jai Corbett. Fifth, Sawyer Phillips, 6th Brandon Wilmington, 7th Scott McGinsky, 8th Connor Morrell, 9th Riley Goodell, 10th Ian Matson, 11th Joey Miller, 12th Ben Brown, 13th Jacob Hughes, did not start, 14th Terry McCarl, 15th Jamie Vaughn, and 16th Jack Anderson. The dash was Brad Sweet winning it. 2nd, Bill Baylog. 3rd, Ryan Timms. 4th, Corey Day. 5th, Sheldon Hodgeld. 6th, David Gravel. 7th, Anthony Macri. 8th, Aaron Reitzel. B-Main, your winner was Cole Vecino. 2nd, Carson Vecino. 3rd, Tyler Courtney. 4th, and final transfer, Ryan Brown. 5th was Hunter Schoenberg. 6th, Casey Kane. 7th, Spencer Mason. 8th, Jason Presley. 9th, James Buback. 10th, J.J. Hinkle. 11th, Tucker Prince Miller. 12th, Kevin Thomas. 13th, Carson McCall. 14th, Covey Watt. 15th, Skylar G. 16th, Doug Hampton. 17th, Chase Randall. And then on start 18th was Landon Crawley. Your winner was Corey Day. 2nd, David Gravel. 3rd, Michael Buddy Kilfoy. 4th, Anthony McElry. 5th, Brad Sweet. 6th, Ryan Timms. 7th, Kerry Matson. 8th, Gio Selzy. 9th, Aaron Reitzel. 10th, Enrico Avery. 11th, Carson Vecino. 12th, Logan Stewart. 13th, Austin McCall. 14th, Brendan Crouch. 15th, Donnie Schatz. 16th, Sheldon Hodgel. 17th, Tyler Courtney. 18th, Cole Vecino. 19th, Phil Vaylog. 20th, Garrett Williamson. 21st, Chris Martin. 22nd, Caleb Johnson. 23rd, Emerson Axum. 24th, Martin Brown. And 25th, Chris Wyndham. Sweet Lab 1 through 8. Day was 9 through 25. The hard charger, Carson Vecino. In the 360s, time trials, picking up the quick time to 3 feet Sawyer Phillips at 17:072. 2nd to 2017, Tyler Greenegg at 17:126. 3rd to 86 of Timothy Smith at 17:235. 24th to 22 X Riley Guido at 17:238. 5th was the 4W Jamie Ball at 17:267. 6th the 40 Clint Gardner at 17:383. 7th the 4 Cam Morton at 17:439. 8th was the 1 Taz Tasker Phillips at 17:468. 9th the 24 T-Mac Terry McCarl at 17:471. 10th the 2 Ryan Giles at 17:507. 11th the 99 Tony Ross at 17:621. 12th the 24 H Cade Higney at 17:653. 13th was the 77X of Alex Hill at 17:696. 14th to 17V of Ryan Bickett at 17:702. 15th to 5A of Alex Vanderweer at 17:523. 16th to 6 of Dustin Salvage at 17:734. 17th to 22 Ryan Lemon at 17:869. 18th was a 33 Valenzuela at 17:932. 19th was Kurt Mueller at 83 at 18:143. 20th was a 3P of Russell Potter at an 18:169. 21st, the 38 Logan Alexander at an 18:298. 22nd, the 31 of McLean Richards at 18:668. 23rd, the T4 Tyler Graves at a 19:130. 24th, the 1A of John Anderson at 19:660. And 25th in no time, the 14 of Aiden Zoo. He race 1 went to Dustin Salvage, 2nd Alex Hill, 3rd Cam Martin, 4th Ryan Giles, 5th Sawyer Phillips, 6th, Riley Goodell. 7th, Kurt Mueller. 8th, McCain Richards. And credited with 9th did not start Aiden Zoot. Heat race number 2 went to Tasker Phillips. 2nd, Ryan Levitt. 3rd, Ryan Bickett. 4th, Tyler Goodnight. 5th, Jamie Ball. 6th, Tony Ross. 7th, Russell Potter. Credited with 8th was Tyler Graves. Heat race 3 went to Kate Higney. 2nd, Terry McCall. 3rd, Clint Gardner. 4th, Timothy Smith. 5th, Alan Zoot. 6th, Logan Alexander. 7th, John Anderson. 8th, Alex Vandervoort. The feature, your winner was Cam Martin. 2nd to Clint Gardner. 3rd, Tasker Phillips. 4th, Sawyer Phillips. 5th, Riley Goodell. 6th, Tyler Greendyke. 7th, Dustin Salvage. 8th, Terry McCall. 9th, Ryan Giles. 10th, Ryan Levitt. 11th, Jamie Ball. 12th, Alex Vandervoort. 13th, Alex Hill. 14th, Kate Higney. 15th, Timothy Smith. 16th, Ryan Bickett. 17th, Kurt Mueller. 18th, Logan Alexander. 19th, McClain Richards. 20th, John Anderson. 21st, Tyler Graves. 22nd, Aiden Zoot. 23rd, Tony Ross. 21st, 4th, Alan Zoot. And 25th, Russell Potter. Gardner led 1 through 2. Cam Martin led 3 through 18. The hard charger was salvage. Last night's Southern Iowa Speedway was rained out. So upcoming action starting on Friday night. The Sprint Invaders will visit Scotland County in Memphis, Missouri for their Friday night racing program. Saturday night, they'll move over to 34 Raceway. And Sunday will be at Quincy Raceways in Illinois. Your current points for the Sprint Invaders. Terry McCall is the points leader at 838. Second, Paul DeGeyser, 831. Third, Tasker Phillips at 811. Fourth, Tanner Gebhardt at 794. Fifth, Cody Worley at 784. Sixth, Cole Fisher at 751. 700. Its seventh is McClain Richards at 700. Eighth is Josh Schneiderman at 623. Ninth, Riley Scott at 614. Riley Goodall rounds out the top 10 at 606. The second 10, it's Jake Blackhurst at 885. Cam Martin is 12th at 584. Garrett Benson is 13th at 584. 14th right now is Cole Leitzer at 565. Blaine Jameson is 15th at 477. 16th is JJ Hinkle at 458. Tucker Daly is 17th at 434. 18th, Chris Ford at 424. 19th is Nathan Murders at 422. And 20th is Brandon Anderson at 411. Those are your current Sprint Invaders points going into this weekend. Over at the Marshalltown Speedway on tomorrow night, it is 1,000 to win stock cars in action, plus the mod lights, sport mods, sport compacts, hobbies, stockers, and modifieds. Over at the CJ Speedway, weekly competition will feature the IMCA modified stock cars, sport mods, hobby stocks, and mini haulers. Up at the Hancock County Speedway, it's the Gold Rush Showdown. Weekly racing featuring the Outlaw Hobby Stocks, Sport Mods, Stock Cars, Modifieds, and IMC Hobby Stocks. Over at 34 Raceway, we mentioned the Sprint Invaders on Saturday night. Also in action will be the non-wing sprint cars, modified stock car, and sport compacts. Knoxville Raceway takes the week off this week for Houston's. And then Wednesday night over at the Southern Iowa Speedway, late models are in racing competition. And with sport mods, hobby stocks, stock car, and sport compacts. That will wrap it up for this week's edition of the Dirt Racing Podcast. As always, go check out your local racing track for the great action. Till next week, this has been the Dirt Racing Podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Dirt Racing Podcast with Marshall Hain. Follow us on Twitter at Dirt_podcast or on Facebook at the Dirt Racing Podcast.